This is the Seven Figure Agency Podcast. Discover the strategies and techniques to grow a highly successful and profitable digital marketing agency with your host, Josh Nelson.
What's up, digital marketing agency owners? On today's video, I want to talk about what I call the client success-based tracking system. And this is something you can put in place to reduce churn, to improve your client retention, and to keep a better pulse on your entire client base as you grow and as you scale. So if that sounds good, you're going to want to watch this video. Well, hello again. My name is Josh Nelson. I'm the founder of Seven Figure Agency. I'm the author of the Client Retention Handbook. And on these videos, I'm sharing some of my best ideas and strategies on how to grow and scale your digital marketing agency so you can make more money, have more freedom, and have a bigger impact. And what I found is as you grow and as you scale your agency, one of the biggest challenges that you have to face, that you have to deal with, is client churn and ultimately client retention. If you think about your agency journey at some level, typically you get good at landing clients. And you got this process to get clients coming in, signing up on retainer-based services. And sometimes we get stuck because it's like, oh gosh, how do we keep these clients on board? And we get good maybe at the client review process and kind of our onboarding process. And the other place we tend to get stuck when it comes to retention is once we get over the hump and we start to put account managers in place and we've got a team of people managing those client relationships, sometimes it starts to feel like we've got so many clients and so many people that are actually dealing with the client relationships, we don't have a pulse on what's going on. I know that's where I sat at one point in my digital marketing agency. And we developed this client success tracking system to really help solve for that. And that's what I want to share with you on today's video and walk you through how you can put something like this in place. When we think about maximizing client retention, we have this client retention formula that we talk about, and it starts with world-class onboarding, goes to effective communication, and ultimately gets into client success management and building that account management team, putting those KPIs in place. But one of the best things you're going to want to do is put a traffic light system in place to really keep a pulse on your clients. And I'm going to walk you through that throughout the course of this video. So there's 5 things you're going to want to put in place in order to make this work. What I find is, let's say you've got 23 clients or you've got 117 clients. You start to get in a place where you don't know which clients are you crushing it for, that were happy, that would happily speak highly of you and refer you to others, and which ones are unhappy right now. And having a tracking system where you can see, all right, these are the clients that are happy that we can kind of use to create testimonial videos, to kind of promote us. These are the ones that are kind of in between that we want to pay attention to. And these are the ones that are struggling. These are the ones that either aren't engaging with us, aren't happy with the service, aren't getting the results. So we can prioritize those situations, can become a game changer for you as the owner of the agency, the leader of the agency, as you grow and as you scale. So there's 5 key things you want to put in place to make this work. Number 1, you've got to measure what matters, right? You got to measure, is the client saying good things or bad things? Are they getting results, like tangible, measurable, tracked results within the services you provide? Are they engaging in the meetings and kind of doing the work that you would expect from them? We want to measure that on an ongoing basis. Number 2 is we want to keep a bird's eye pulse. There's no way you as the owner can meet with every single client every single month, right? That's what you have account managers for. But you do need to have something that you can look at and have a snapshot of the general sense within the business, the general satisfaction level within the business. Number 3 is we want to get ahead of issues. What we found in our agency was even when we started to track this, we would be like, okay, these are our happy clients, these are our unhappy clients, but we didn't really have a process in place to get ahead. Okay, if this client's unhappy right now, they're starting to say they're not getting results or they've kind of disengaged with us, what can we do to meet with that client to kind of turn things around so that we can catch them before they've gone a different direction, before they send that cancellation notice, before they hire another agent. So it's really important to get ahead of those issues. Number 4 is we got to prioritize the most at need. Now, all clients should get the proper attention. All clients need to be served in a great way. But if we know certain clients aren't getting the outcomes or they're not really happy with the way things are going, we need to give them extra attention. We need to get all hands on deck to move those clients forward. And so ideally we want our green clients to stay green. We want our yellow clients to quickly get back in line. And the unhappy clients, the ones that aren't getting results, we want to triage those situations and treat them with the attention and the urgency that they need. And then number 5 is we've got to take weekly action. And so when you put a tracking system like what I'm going to be showing you here in a second in place, you can't just set it and forget it. Right? You need to have a weekly pulse with your team. Ideally, your account management team is meeting on a weekly basis, looking over the clients, trying to figure out which ones are at risk, and then deciding what are we going to do. Are we going to change something on the website? Are we going to change something with the paid strategy? Are we going to maybe have one of the owners engage with that client and try and figure out what's going on? What are we going to proactively do? And because of that weekly pulse, we can make things change. We can improve those situations. We can take those unhappy clients and make them happy. And that's going to drive better retention. It's going to drive better results. It's going to drive better profitability within our organization. So, really, you want to get clear on what are the key things you want to track on a consistent basis. And I'll share some additional insights and thoughts on how to put this in place. But at the most basic level, really what I'm talking about here is having your entire client base, whether it's in Excel, in Trello, on high level, in a pipeline, where you can say, here's my green clients. Green, let's quantify that. So green means they're happy, they're getting good results. They just said something positive about us. We want to know, out of our entire client base, which ones would we say are green? Yellow, those are the ones that are kind of in between. Maybe they're still happy, but the results aren't where they should be. Maybe the results are good, but they've recently said they're unhappy with something that happened within the organization. Those are your yellow clients. Which ones are in the yellow place? And then red. Which are the clients that we know they're just not ranked or they're not getting enough leads to get a qualified return on investment, or they've recently said they're thinking about going a different direction or they're unhappy. This can create a lot of peace of mind. Having a board like this where you can quickly see out of my entire client base, which ones are happy, which ones are kind of in between, and which ones are red. And I really want to encourage you, if you don't have something like this where you're tracking it on an ongoing basis, this isn't hard to set up. You could put this on Google Sheets with 3 columns, right? And you just easily kind of move them from one column to the next. You could do it in Trello. I love the board-based system in Trello. You can also do this in ClickUp. But the basic mechanics are we've just got our clients and we've got them sorted by this priority. And once you've got this visual in place, whether it's just you and a small team, you and a big team of account managers, the priority then is to say, okay, let's resort on a weekly basis. Let's move the clients to where they sit. Let's make sure we're reaching out to the greens and asking them for testimonials, for referrals, to be case studies, to come on our podcast and stuff. Let's figure out what's going on with the yellow. Usually it's a relational thing. Let's get with that client. Let's talk through it. Let's try and get them back engaged. Let's get them excited. Let's make sure they're clear on where things are headed. And let's prioritize the reds. Let's really figure out what we need to do to move those reds to at least back to yellow or possibly back to green. And I want to encourage you is this is going to give you peace of mind, but it's also going to make you better as an agency. When you make the necessary changes, you can change outcomes. When you change outcomes, it will change your retention, it will change your reputation in the industry. And so here's a visual of what this might look like on Trello. I mean, literally with Trello, if you've used any of these systems, you just drag them, from one column to the next. And it's really, really important that you do this on a consistent basis. So that's the client success tracking system. If you put this in place, give me a yes in the comments, because I think you've got enough insights at least to get the ball rolling on this front. If you have questions on how to set it up logistically, like how you manage the process, post those in the comments. I'll do my best to reach out and fill in the gaps. If you got value from this particular video and it was something like there was at least one takeaway, I would love to know your takeaway in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this with maybe someone on your team or another agency that you think could benefit. And again, this is part of your overall client retention strategy. We've got to have world-class onboarding, we've got to have effective ongoing communication and reporting, and then we've got to have that client success process dialed in as you grow, as you scale. Now, I do unpack this in depth in my book, The Client Retention Handbook, so if you haven't read this yet, please check it out on Amazon. I think it's a great book. You can also listen to it on Audible. It will really help fill in the gaps on a lot of this stuff. I've also got the Client Retention Workbook, which is a checklist of the key things you want to do in each area of your client retention strategy. You can access that by going to sevenfigureagency.com/retention-workbook. You can hit this QR code. So dive in. Cannot wait to see and hear how you use this, how this improves your retention. Reach out to me. Let me know if you've got follow-up questions, and let me know as you implement this what impact it's having on your agency. So that's it for now. I look forward to seeing you on a future video where we're talking about how to land clients on a consistent basis, how to deliver world-class results to the clients you've got, how to retain at the highest level possible and reduce churn, and ultimately how to scale by putting the right systems and procedures in place. Check it out in a future video, and I look forward to talking with you soon.